Good morning. Now I'm going to share about the presentation of mine, which is related to on research studies on Rajyoga meditation. I belong to the wing of Brahma Kumaris that is known as a Spark Wing, Spiritual Application and Research Center. That's mainly the research activities which are done in Brahma Kumaris. This wing is mainly responsible related to those kinds of activities. So in that case, whatever the work which has been correlating the science and spirituality, or let me say multiple discipline in which the research is being done on the effect of Rajyoga meditation related studies. So firstly, I would like to share about what is Rajyoga meditation. As it is clear by the name Raj Yoga, that means to master on the self and on our senses in such a way so that we will become the master of the self. And the second, as in case of yoga, yoga is the word which is known as union, and that's a conscious union with the Supreme Soul, that is Supreme Almighty, with the Divine. So the communion between self and the Supreme is known as the Rajyoga meditation. Mainly that is known in the three parts: mind, intellect, sanskar. That's the subconscious part of it. And especially we can say in that case, there are three sciences behind this. One is the thinking science, one is the decision science, one is the behavioral science. So firstly, the thought comes and the intellect decides whether these are the positive kinds of thoughts, negative kinds of thoughts. And what is intellect is deciding, that is finally, if it is repeated, that becomes our personality and that becomes our sanskar. So that's how it is known as traits, tendencies. That's how in case of a repetitive of those habits, that becomes hardwired in ourself. You might have heard about Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a well-known cell biologist, that there is a belief that firstly, the way we think, we get converted. We can become the way we think. The genes don't control our cell growth, because it's very well known that the person, how he thinks, accordingly cell and the whole cellular structure start behaving. So it gets affected on the belief system. You will like to see this video in which this is explained very nicely. I'll just click on the video.
The function of the mind is to create coherence between what we believe and the reality that we experience. If you believe there's a threat, signals of threat released into the blood will prepare the cells to engage in a protection response. But the problem is this: maybe there was no real threat. The cells don't know whether it's real or not, because the cells only respond to the chemicals. They don't see the real environment. So all of a sudden I say, then if we believe we're under stress, we manifest stress in our physiology, even though the environment in which we live is not really promoting that. So all of a sudden we start to see that our thoughts, whether they're right or they're wrong, are actually changing our biology. Now, this idea of thoughts controlling our life is not new. 2,500 years ago, the Buddha said, what we think, we become. And in fact, that is exactly the story of epigenetics today. Epigenetics is saying what you're thinking is translated into chemistry, which will determine what you will become. So, 2,500 years later, Buddha is right, but now we know the mechanism. Signal plus protein equals behavior. Now I say, when the behavior is not supporting us, then we can say, we are expressing a dis-ease. Now, in this equation, I say, well, what can be responsible? What can cause a disease? The beautiful part about it is there are only two things on the other side of the equation. It's either the protein or the signal can be considered the cause of disease. So I say, well, yeah, proteins can cause disease because defective proteins lead to defective functions, which then are expressed as disease. So the question is, how much of our disease is actually controlled by defective proteins? And the most amazing fact is this, that flawed genes cause less than 1% of disease. So when we go back to our chart and I say, proteins can contribute to disease, and I say, well, they can contribute because defective proteins as a result of mutations or alterations of our genome then will mislead.
So as you saw, we can become what we want to become. And that means it depends on our belief system. Firstly, the process starts that what we believe that we can do this much, accordingly our potential becomes. And as per the potential, we take actions. As per the amount of actions which we have taken, accordingly the result comes. And that becomes a repetitive cycle. So according to the result, we start believing, and that's how it works. So that means, firstly we believe, that becomes our attitude, and that comes into actions, and as per the actions, the result comes. So in that case, what I am trying to convey, that it is depending on the belief system, but our beliefs definitely can be changed. In case if we want to get a better potential, we will have to change. And if we are expecting that the better outcome should come, in that case, if we still remain same, we can't get the better outcome, and we will accordingly change. So as in case of India, you might be knowing about the best holy river, which is known as Ganga. If somebody says holy river Ganga, if somebody belongs to hills, he will be getting the vision from the hills. While if the person who has come to the next city, once it comes to the plains, he will know as per that perceptions. But if we go, it goes further flow, and then it goes to the different cities. So accordingly the person will believe. So that means Ganga remains same, but as per the perceptions of each and every person, he or she is expecting holy river Ganga. So that's how in the similar fashion, it is the Ganga of life also. Firstly, what we perceive, accordingly our thoughts are created, and the way it creates belief system, according to the belief system, words, and according to the attitude that creates behavior, then it comes into action, and behavior creates the results, that becomes the outcome. And these results create, if we create new thoughts, then repeated actions, that becomes our habits, and repetitive habits becomes our character, and then finally as per the character, that becomes our destiny. That's how it is known as that we are the self who are the creators of our own destiny. So in short, what I'm trying to say, that Sparkwing has got a vision which is to create a better tomorrow by applying the spirituality in our life system, and the mission is to do the holistic research to develop effective tools and techniques that facilitate the applications of spirituality and experience in practical benefits in all aspects of life. Sparkwing has taken lots of projects out of that based on the spatial interest group. Here these are few quoted projects. One is the effect of Raj Yoga meditation on our physiological, cognitive, and affective states. Then there are few which depends on medicine, psychiatry, and psychology. Then quantum structure of the universe, how it is. Then the holistic healing effects of human suffering, which is especially done on the cancer patients. Then related to disaster management crisis, at that time, what is the role of science and spirituality? And then the developing positive thinking and confidence and leadership qualities among school children. And then, because lots of faculty development programs are done for the teachers. So that means here, in case of our Brahma Kumaris, the specific emphasis start from the self, and then because of the personality development, then we start affecting our closer ones, which the closest ones are family. And then because of these interpersonal relations, we start affecting the society, and how then it starts affecting the whole universe. So that means by empowering self, we can make a powerful, happy, and a blissful world. And in fact, if you see the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, lots of these development goals are perfectly in alliance with the kinds of work which Brahma Kumaris are doing. Now coming to specific SPARKS research programs and objectives. To explore the scientific applications of spiritual principles and Raj Yoga lifestyle. Then the confirmation of different meditation states, which is done with the help of psychophysiological tools. And then scientifically validation of BK Raj Yoga meditation as first person experience by the electroencephalogram, that means brain activations. And then it has been done differences in physiological and emotional states during all types of meditative practices of Raj Yoga meditation. Here you see the pictures which is of the lab of SPARK, where you are seeing the meditators do perform the task, and at the time of performing task, how the meditative state affects the EEG brain activities, and how in case of a normal subjects and in case of the experimental subjects, EEG patterns are different, for which EEG evaluation system as well as the psychological tools are used to evaluate cognitive and emotional state, which is done with lots of expertise from different institutions and connecting with their scientists. As far as the gadgets are concerned, as you had seen that earlier one was the 64 channel EEG system, while we have used Muse system also, which is based on a single channel to 4 channel EEG systems, in which multiple physiological parameters, and we come to know about their stress levels based on brain patterns. Then here, if you are seeing that based on galvanic skin response, the PIP stress tracker, to know whether the person is into the relaxed state or into the state. That is how it is done. So that means the total effectiveness of Raj Yoga meditation is evaluated based on 5 these parameters. One is emotional, then cognitive, then psychological, then physiological, and based on even social behavioral patterns that is evaluated. Related to psychological studies, one study which was done in collaboration with one of the DRDO lab known as Defense Institute of Psychological Research, where the tools were applied. One was NEO-PIR, which is a neuroticism scale. Then another one is happiness scale, quality of life scale, as well as hope scale. And the results were found that there were less neurotic symptoms, and as well as hope scale and happiness scale were also found much better even for the subjects who were practicing meditation for a very short period of time. And here the publication based on that was effect of Raj Yoga meditation on affective and cognitive state functions, which was published through Defense Research Organization, that is DIPR. So as in case of cognitive functions, it was found that where the tools were utilized, memory, verbal and non-verbal, which was a paper pencil based test, and for attention and concentration it was a letter cancellation test, and we found that in that error was reduced, responses were faster, and there was an increased focus on the task. That means we found that enhanced cognitive functions. Now coming to another studies which was done again with another lab of DRDO, that lab is known as Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Life Sciences, in which tools were, that was attention network test, and in case it was found especially for the long-term meditators. So that means expert meditators were able to give the responses which were much faster, and related to the accuracy also was found significantly higher among them. Alertness and conflict monitoring efficiency was also higher in long-term meditators. So overall, all test provides measure of attention networks much better in case of long-term meditators, as you are seeing here in the first left half. In case of long-term meditators and control subjects, there is a significant response time difference, and overall accuracy in case of long-term meditator has been improved. And as far as the efficiency, so that means alertness, orientation and conflict, that also the on which basis efficiency is calculated is also improved. Then another study which has been done with collaboration of one of the prominent institute known as National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience, based in Bangalore, in which we have used the tools which are on happiness, peace, harmony, self-development, executive function, spiritual growth and the quality of life index. And it was found in case of results, meditation practice does improve well-being, and the proficiency of practice is better correlated with most aspects of well-being. This was a paper which was published. The article name was "What Contributes to Well-Being Gain." Now another study which was done in collaboration with the DIPAS, that is Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences, where the other physiological tools were utilized, that was blood pressure, heart rate variability and skin conductance. And it was found that BP was lowered after practice, so that means better cardiac functions, and LF by HF ratio was decreased, that means sympatho-vagal balance and better relaxation after meditation. And another study which was conducted with the help of ENMA and EEG was the tools, that means electroencephalogram, and in that it was found the result that there was a good increase in alpha and theta power band, theta band power, and we found the increased alpha asymmetry, and that means positive impact of meditation on attention network and cognitive processing. And again one more study which was again conducted with the help of NIMHANS Bangalore, which was not only EEG, even the event related potentials were also utilized, and we found that after a few months of meditation practice, there was a marked enhancement of lower alpha power. That means alpha 1 and alpha 2. So alpha 1, there was a significant improvements. And that result indicate neuroplastic changes that facilitate development of mental mastery. And that paper was published in Consciousness and Cognitions. It was just a minute meditation, that means rapid voluntary conscious state shifts in case of long-term meditators. Again, one more study in which simultaneous EEG and fMRI together, that study was performed again in humans, in which we found the results: better brain stability, less ruminative thoughts in meditators, and the decreased demon activity, that is known as default mode network. That means better cognitive processes. Here you are seeing the pictures in which the EEG and fMRI study was conducted by one of our BK, and how he's preparing that. And this was a paper published known as Temporal Dynamics of the Default Mode Network, which characterizes meditation induced alteration in consciousness, and that was published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience. So till now, whatever we were talking about the functional aspects. Now this was the study which has proven that even in case of a long-term meditators, structural changes also comes, and for which we had utilized the tool which is diffusion tensor imaging. That is the study of a white matter fibers connections in brain, and that is done in case of MRI system. And the study of corpus callosum in long-term meditator, and it was found that enhanced anisotropy and reduced diffusivity in long-term meditators, and it was found that there were increased connectivity between two hemispheres. What it means is that better regulation of emotion, attentions, and executive function. So now I'll show you the properties of white matter properties picture related to that. Here you see the diffusion tensor imaging pictures related to white matter, and this was the paper which was published in Brain Connectivity related to enhanced white matter integrity in corpus callosum of long-term Brahmakumari Rajyoga meditators. Till now most of the study which you have seen were concentrated mainly, which was done all within the collaborations of Indian institutes. This one of the data which was collected in our headquarters, and the data was evaluated with collaborations of Key Institute of Brain and Mind, which is from University of Zurich, Switzerland, and they found the wonderful results, and they told that the meditation showed reduced activity in delta and increased activity in lower alpha frequencies. And central executive network, the mirroring network, and both the task positive and the task negative network found active during meditations. So that means the result indicate attention modulation, self-related processing, experiencing the soul as a point of life between the eyes, and knowing the soul within the properties, peacefulness, which is the of the Supreme Soul. So now again, till now whatever the studies were related to EEG, psychology, physiology, so all related to that. Then a few of the studies which are from different walks of life. Here it is shown one which has been done in collaboration with Indian Spinal Injury Center. The spinal injury patients who do not agree that from the next day onwards they are going to be confined to the bed or the wheelchair. So in their cases, the study was performed using the tools which were qualitative observations as well as the questionnaire based, and the Ashworth score, which was to evaluate muscle spasticity. And the result among the patients were found that they had stress and anxiety and depression were significantly decreased. Quality of life was significantly improved. Pain rating significantly decreased as compared to the controlled group, and reduced muscle spasticity. And the results were not found or evaluated only among the patients, it was evaluated in case of caregivers, because the caregivers also gives the continuous care to these spinal injury patients, whether they are close relatives including nurses and doctors. And it was found even in case of caregivers, stress, anxiety and depression was significantly decreased. Then up to the social level also, we at Brahmakumaris coordinate for the youth a national integration camp, and for that that is done in our Om Shanti Retreat Center at Gurgaon, close to Delhi. And the tools were utilized for that were spiritual, religious and personal belief scale, quality of life scale, and the scale of well-being. And we found wonderful result that yoga meditation training is quite effective on a spiritual, religious and personal beliefs, which was evaluated based on QOL and well-being of youth. And a significant positive correlation exists between SRBL, QOL and well-being. Then I am going to share the kinds of collaboration which the Spark wing, which is the research wing of Brahmakumaris, have done the collaboration with multiple national and international institutes and organizations, which has done in the form of memorandum of understanding. One of the most prominent institute in India is Indian Institute of Science, based in Bangalore, with them. And then there is one institute known as India International Multiversity, which is based in Pune. Then Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, Chennai. Gujarat University, where we are working on effect of Raj Yoga spiritual lifestyle on telemodes, that is epigenetic study. And international I have already shared, which has been done with University of Zurich, one institute known as Key Institute of Brain Mind Research, based in Switzerland, where the study has been done on source localization and EEG microstates. Here you are seeing, once the paper were published in a conference which was done in France, our national coordinator Shrikant and one of the scientists who was a neurophysiologist from Iceland, and their comparative study was done during 8 minutes of meditation, and it was observed that the meditator was continuously in alpha and delta state with open eye meditation. Not only that, once in case of Netherlands, the study was evaluated by one of the prominent company which is developing functional near infrared spectroscopy system. So Shrikant Bhai, if you are seeing in that, is being evaluated based on FNIR. Now the next study which is into the process is on the effect of Raj Yoga, a spiritual lifestyle, on telomeres. Because everybody knows that with aging, telomere length gets shortened. And in case, maybe few of the studies which you might be already aware, that they tell that loving kindness meditation practice associated with longer telomeres in women. Another study is on telomere lengthening after 3 weeks of an intensive insight meditation retreat. So that means telomere length gets increased in case of long-term meditator practices. So what the study we have formulated, it is for the long-term meditators. The long-term means the people who are practicing more than 10 years, and the aged matched control group is also taken of non-meditators or any other meditation but not Raj Yoga, and physiological parameters should be matched of those. And it is being done at Gujarat University with ethical permission of Institute of Human Ethics Committee. Then meditation is valid in all walks of life. Wherever we apply, we get an effect related to that. So there are a few studies which I will like to share with different spheres. Here it is related to corporates, and it has been found that regular support and training on stress management, healthy eating and physical activity can keep your employee happy and healthy, and that gives a better improved loyalty, that reduces attrition and enhances the overall health of the wellness of the organization. So ultimately it corporate wellness boosts employee morale, productivity and good decision making. It is equally useful and effective in case of defense sector also, because there are good results which have been found in case of burnout which soldiers do get, and as well as in case of post-traumatic stress disorder, and their cognitive abilities also were found improved in case of soldiers, and greater results related to rehabilitation. Related to the sports persons also, because they require lots of good focused, very good attention, and not only good attention, rather even their better attention span is required. So that's how in case of athletes, the direct result of improved concentration, higher level of performance. And once the mind becomes strengthened, that means better control over the body. So that means overall performance is improved. Enhancements in athletes' performance in case of a crucial situation where alpha rhythms are essential in limiting distractions and maintaining heightened awareness, while they are able to maintain the quietness in their brain. It is equally applicable in the field of economics. That means we reduce the wastage, we are able to utilize the effect of hope, emotional intelligence, self-efficacy, optimism in organizational behavior, and study of economic rationale in a human behavior study also. So in total sense, what we are saying, in case if the spirituality is adapted by the organization, then what happens? Here it is clearly explained. Once the positive psychology and the traditional Vedantic thoughts they come, then we find a better harmony not only with the self but as well as with the environment and as well as with the society. So what happens in case of job, the person feels motivated, his learning becomes better, he is more committed. That means the overall organizational performance, whether in case of financial aspects or in quality orientation, both way it is improved. Now coming next, that is spirituality in education. So related to that, education, firstly to know, learning to know about the self, so the value-based education. Then learning about the skills, the skill to competence. Then not only about the self, that means inter and intrapersonal relationship. That means how to live together. So based on spirituality, we learn how to live together. And then with the community, and then finally we learn how to be the self, learning to be being. This is equally useful whether we talk about in case of medicine. That means any kinds of medical related disorders, whether those are related to psychosomatic or cardiovascular or tumor related, and it has got a stress reduction effects among students. In case of food habits, do affects on our meditative lifestyles, and the role of spiritual practices is on our overall health, whether it is on healing, whether it is on mortality, or coping with the different kinds of stresses. In case of Brahma Kumaris is also working on the data acquisition related to COVID patients, and this is the health assessment scale based on which the data is being collected, and as well as meditative related interventions are also being provided by the Brahma Kumaris, because lots of mental issues are being created, are being developed related to the prolonged lockdown. So related to that also, many of the spiritual practices are being created in case of modules to help those lockdown subjects. Coming now, the present proposals which are into the process, whether these are international or national collaborations, these are shown. Like related to depression, like in one international project which is in collaboration with University of Groningen, Netherlands, and IIT Roorkee. IIT Roorkee is doing the multicentric part, that is with IIT Roorkee and Kalpana Chawla Medical College, Karnal, as well as with Lucknow University. And the another one is with Open University UK and MIT University Noida in association with Spark Wing of Brahma Kumaris, which is being submitted in Satyam. And one more project which is with University of Technology Petronas, Malaysia, with MIT University Noida. It's an international project on stress management for children in association with Spark. That one collaboration is being done with Emoto Peace Project Japan, that is on effect of consciousness on water. Then one study with neurophysiological studies on Raja Yoga practitioner, that is being done at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Patna. It's already a sanctioned project. Then with the transport and travel wing of Brahma Kumaris, which is being headquartered in Borivali, Mumbai, with Indian Railway, that's being done. Then on cancer patients, so holistic healing of human suffering through Mansa Seva on cancer patients, which is being done in collaboration with Kidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology, based in Bangalore. Another one is effect of Raja Yoga meditation to lessen behavioral changes. There is a school known as Tamanna School, Nai Disha, based in Delhi, where the students who are suffering from different developmental disabilities, effect of meditation among them, it is being done on that. And then another one with our Manipal Center, Manipal University, it is being done on Wellness Center. Here you are seeing that once Brahma Kumari is presented, how the spirituality has got the scientific approach, and how these wonderful results which is being shared in an Indian High Commission Malaysia, because of which that collaborative project with University of Technology Petronas is into the process. So that means, now to summarize, we are creating Spark Wisdom Circle across India. So that means for different sectors, whether it is related to education sector or corporate social responsibilities, related to medical and health, or science or human resource related. So that means Spark is already has done lots of collaborative projects with multiple institutes nationally and internationally, and trying to work to open the effects of Rajaga meditation through our Spark wing for different sectors. Thank you. In case of any queries, thank you very much. Om Shanti.